Two kids saw something they were never supposed to see, and it changed everything. What happens next will shock you. This story is a wake-up call for every parent. Don't let your kids watch this alone. Tariq was 13, a lively boy with a curious mind. He loved playing outside in the small village where he lived, surrounded by trees and fields. His best friend, Asha, was only 11, but she was always full of energy and questions about the world around her. The two spent hours running through the grassy paths, laughing and sharing stories about their dreams. They had grown up together, always sticking by each other, sharing everything. One sunny afternoon, they were playing near the edge of the village, close to the river. It was a peaceful day, the sound of the river flowing gently, mixing with the laughter of the two children. As they walked, their attention was drawn to a house nearby, a small one with a simple wooden door. To their surprise, the door was wide open, and inside they could see a woman, Auntie Mariam, sitting close to her husband. Asha squinted her eyes, trying to understand what was going on inside. Tariq noticed it too. The woman and her husband were acting strangely, hugging each other in a way they had never seen before. Tariq felt uneasy, but Asha was curious. They stayed quietly, watching without understanding, as the couple seemed to be doing something that made Tariq feel uncomfortable. "What are they doing?" Asha asked, her voice barely a whisper. Tariq looked away, feeling confused. He didn't know what he was seeing, and it made him feel strange inside. But Asha was different. She seemed fascinated, almost like she wanted to understand more. As they left the house, the two friends walked down to the riverbank, trying to forget the strange sight they had seen. The cool breeze made the trees sway, and for a moment, it felt like everything was normal again. But Asha kept asking questions. "Tariq, do you think it's fun? Do you think we can do that too, like they did?" Tariq froze, his heart racing. "No, Asha, that's not something we should do. I don't know what they were doing, but it feels wrong." Asha didn't understand, but she was insistent. "I want to try it, Tariq. You do it with me." Tariq's face turned pale. He felt a deep sense of discomfort, something he couldn't explain. He didn't want to say yes, but Asha was looking at him with big, curious eyes. Then something unexpected happened. From behind the tree, Tariq's mother had been watching. She had seen everything. Tariq's heart sank when he realized his mother had seen everything. She walked out from behind the tree, her face pale and serious. "Tariq, Asha," she said softly but firmly. "Come with me." The children followed her home in silence, both feeling the weight of the situation. Tariq's mother knew that something was wrong. She had seen the confusion on their faces, but she also knew she needed to protect them from the things they weren't ready for. That evening, Tariq's mother sat him down and talked to him about the things he had seen. She explained in a gentle way what was right and what was wrong. But most importantly, she told him that some things are meant to be learned at the right time from trusted people. She also spoke to Asha's mother, who was equally shocked and worried. The next day, both mothers went to the school to speak with the teacher. They explained the situation, asking for help, and the teacher promised to guide the children. The teacher's eyes were filled with sadness and concern. It wasn't easy to talk about these things, but she knew it was necessary. She decided that it was best for Tariq and Asha to attend different schools, at least for a while, so they could have time to learn and grow properly, away from any confusion or pressure. The day Tariq and Asha were told they would be separated at school was the hardest one of their young lives. They sat together near the river again, the place where everything had changed. "I don't want to go, Tariq," Asha said, her voice trembling. "Why do we have to leave each other? I'm going to miss you." Tariq didn't know what to say. His heart felt heavy, knowing that their friendship was changing. But he also knew it was for the best. Asha, I don't want to leave you either, but sometimes we have to make hard choices to grow. You'll understand when you're older. Tears welled up in Asha's eyes. She was confused, hurt, and scared. She didn't understand everything, but she knew one thing for sure. She didn't want to lose her best friend. I'll miss you so much, Tariq, Asha whispered, wiping her tears. I'll miss you too, Asha, Tariq replied, his voice barely audible. But we'll always be friends. Always. As they hugged for the last time before being separated, the sadness in the air was almost unbearable. Both of them stood there, unsure of what the future would hold. The river flowed gently beside them, unaware of the storm inside their hearts. Tariq and Asha spent the next few weeks with a heavy heart. They were in different schools now. The teachers were kind, trying their best to help them adjust to their new routines. But no matter how much they tried to focus on their lessons, the sadness never really left them. It felt like a piece of their lives had been taken away, and there was no way to get it back. Tariq sat in his new classroom, looking out the window. He could hear the sound of the birds singing outside, but he couldn't focus. He missed Asha. She was the one who made him laugh when things got tough. Now there was a silence inside him, one that he couldn't shake. Every day felt empty without her. At lunch, Tariq sat alone under a big tree in the schoolyard, eating his sandwich slowly. He remembered all the fun they used to have by the river, laughing about silly things and sharing dreams about the future. He missed those days. He wanted to tell Asha how much he missed her, but they couldn't talk to each other now, not like they used to. Asha, on the other hand, wasn't doing any better. At her new school, everything felt strange. The children there didn't know her the way the kids in her old school did. She was quieter now, not laughing as much, and it was hard for her to make new friends. She kept thinking about the moment when she and Tariq had been separated. It felt like something inside her had broken. And no matter how much she tried to pretend it didn't hurt, it did. One afternoon after school, Asha sat by the river. The cool water flowed by, just like it always did, but it didn't make her feel calm anymore. She thought about Tariq, wondering if he missed her as much as she missed him. Asha picked up a small stone and tossed it into the river, watching the ripples spread out. She wished she could turn back time, to the days when everything felt simple and happy. Tariq, too, came to the river on his way home from school. He walked along the bank, his feet brushing the grass. But his mind was elsewhere. He couldn't stop thinking about Asha. He wished he could talk to her, tell her he was sorry for everything that had happened. But he didn't know how. His mother had explained everything to him about the right way to understand the world. But it still didn't make him feel better. He didn't understand why he had to be apart from his friend, the one person who had always been there for him. As he stood by the water, Tariq heard a voice behind him. It was soft, familiar, and it made his heart skip a beat. Tariq! It was Asha. She was standing a few feet away, her face sad but hopeful. Tariq turned around quickly, surprised to see her there. Asha, what are you doing here? I was thinking about you, Asha said, her voice barely above a whisper. I miss you. I miss our old days. Tariq looked down at the ground, not sure what to say. I miss you too, Asha. I don't know why this had to happen. I don't know what to do. Asha took a few steps closer. I think we need to learn about what happened together. Maybe we can understand it better, Tariq. We can't change it, but we can still grow, right? Tariq looked at her, surprised by how much wisdom Asha seemed to have, even though she was younger. You're right, he said softly. I don't want to forget you, Asha. I never will. They stood together by the river, not saying anything for a while. The sound of the water seemed to calm them both, as if the river itself was giving them a little peace. They didn't need to speak. They both understood. They had been through something difficult, but they would come out stronger. Days passed and Tariq and Asha began to find their new rhythm, though the sadness still lingered. They both focused on their schoolwork, trying to forget, but they never really could. Every time they passed the river, their minds would drift back to the days when they were together, when the world felt safe and easy. But something changed. Slowly, they both began to learn more about the world. Tariq's teacher spoke to him about respect, boundaries, and what it meant to grow up. Asha's teacher did the same for her. It wasn't easy, but they began to understand things they hadn't before. The feeling of discomfort they had felt before seemed to make more sense now. They learned that some things were for grown-ups, and they needed to be careful about how they learned about those things. Though they didn't see each other every day like before, they began to write letters to each other. They shared their thoughts, their dreams, and their lessons. The letters helped keep their bond strong, and over time, their hearts began to heal. One evening, as the sun began to set and the sky turned a soft orange, Tariq stood by the river again. This time, he wasn't sad. He was thinking about everything he had learned, about Asha, about his mother, and about growing up. Just then, he felt something. It was a tap on his shoulder. He turned around quickly, and there stood Asha, smiling shyly. "I missed you, Tariq," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "I think we're going to be okay." Tariq smiled back, a feeling of peace washing over him. "I think so too, Asha. I think we're going to be okay." Years slipped by gently, like the calm waters of the river Tariq and Asha knew so intimately. Life had shaped and molded them, teaching wisdom through patience, strength through challenges, and deep compassion through personal trials. Tariq had grown into a thoughtful young man, admired in the village for his quiet strength, steady wisdom, and kind heart. Asha blossomed beautifully into a graceful, intelligent young woman, known widely for her warmth, wisdom, and boundless empathy. Their paths had diverged as life unfolded, yet their heartfelt letters continued to bridge the distance. Each letter was treasured, holding fragments of their souls, hopes and dreams, joys and sorrows, and memories too precious to fade. Despite the passing years, the connection born in their childhood deepened profoundly, rooted firmly in mutual respect, unwavering trust, and quiet longing. One bright, sunlit afternoon, much like the one that had altered their lives long ago, Tariq found himself at their beloved river. An indescribable force had guided his steps here today, whispering gently through his memories, urging him to revisit the place where innocence had once been challenged. He sat quietly, listening intently to the river's timeless whispers, each ripple and murmur bringing a rush of poignant memories. Immersed in contemplation, Tariq barely noticed the soft footsteps approaching. Only when a familiar, gentle voice broke through his thoughts did he look up, startled and hopeful. "Tariq." The voice spoke softly, tenderly, pulling instantly at his heartstrings. Turning slowly, his heart soared at the sight before him. Asha stood there, bathed in the golden glow of the sun, unchanged in spirit, her eyes sparkling with the deep warmth and love he remembered so clearly. "Asha," Tariq whispered, emotion thickening his voice. They moved instinctively toward each other, embracing tightly, tears flowing freely, carrying away years of distance, loneliness, and unspoken longing. "I've missed you more than words can say," Asha breathed softly, her voice quivering. "And you, every day," Tariq replied tenderly, holding onto her tightly, never wanting to let go again. Sitting together by the riverbank, the very spot that had once tested their innocence now became a place of profound healing and gentle reunion. They spoke softly, their conversation flowing naturally, effortlessly filling the spaces left by their years apart. They shared stories, laughter, and tears, reconnecting deeply through each word and silent glance. As the sun gently dipped lower, casting hues of amber, gold, and crimson across the vast sky, Tariq reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, carefully wrapped object. With trembling fingers, he handed it gently to Asha. "For you," he whispered softly, eyes filled with sincere devotion. "Something so you'll never forget." Asha carefully unwrapped the delicate parcel, her heart beating rapidly. Inside was a beautifully carved stone, polished, smooth, and warm, shaped delicately into a heart. Her eyes welled with fresh tears, and she clutched it lovingly to her chest. "Oh, Tariq, I could never forget," she whispered, smiling softly through her tears. "Our memories and our bond, they live forever within our hearts." Hand in hand, they stood, hearts lighter, souls deeply intertwined. As they walked slowly back toward their village, their families and new lives awaited them. They knew life would hold new adventures and challenges, but the bond they shared was unbreakable, a testament to friendship, love, and resilience. Under the soft glow of evening stars, Tariq and Asha had finally come home, not merely to their village, but to each other, forever. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales that matter. Drop a comment below. What did you feel as Tariq and Asha found their way home?